But yeah, 7 period, 7 period, 7 period. And the thing about indicators in general, again, you want to customize them per what you want to see. So again, with my indicators, I want a recency bias, right? I don't want a 50 period ATR because honestly, I don't really care what the market did 50 candles ago, right? That doesn't really have much value for how I like to trade. So I want a more recent bias of what momentum is doing, what the volatility looks like, which is why I use a shorter period ATR. It's why I use a shorter period RSI. But what you want to do is play around with it to your liking, right? If you're someone that wants something super tight, right, shorten it up to like a 3. If you want something that has more breathing room, shorten it up to like a 21, right? The thing with the RSI, it's you do this, same thing with the overbought and oversold, how I have those customized. If you want more signals with the RSI, use a shorter period RSI, right? So if you're someone that wants a little bit more action, you want a quicker overbought or oversold, right? Make this bad boy a 2, right? Look at all that. Look at all that, right? Make that bad boy a 2 and you'll get all types of overbought and oversold signals. So you'll get more frequency if that's what your system requires. Or if you're using an RSI as like an entry or exit indicator and you want to get involved quicker or get out earlier, tighten it up. Now, what's the downside that comes with doing so, right? Because we know there's pros and cons to everything. What's the downside that comes with having an extremely tight indicator setting? Who can tell me? And again, a lot of it depends on your purpose, right? You're going to get, Raphael was typing, George and Dennis are typing. Yeah, you're going to get more false signals. So the signal isn't going to be as legit, right? It's like buying something cheap, right? You can buy something cheap and you'll get it right away. It just may break sooner, right? On the other hand, right? And this is, you can do the same thing for time. Think about the same thing as time frames. The higher time frame you go, the more legit the signal is going to be. Like, this is why we tell people stay off the minute chart. The minute chart is the equivalent of what you just see in front of you right here. The action is so sporadic that it's hard to take it seriously, but you're going to get a lot of entries. On the other hand, right, you loosen this thing up to like, let's do a 34 because I like fib numbers. Look at that. Well, we're barely touching, well, not barely, we're nowhere near touching 80 and 20. So you get pretty much no signals if you're using it for overbought, oversold. Again, there's different ways you can use the RSI. But at the same time, if you were to get an overbought or oversold signal, and I don't even know if we could find one here. Maybe I'll use a different example. It would be a legit signal, right? Because it doesn't happen too often. So if this market goes oversold down here, which maybe we did, a much more legit signal. So that's what you want to do with indicator trading. Is very interesting. And I learned indicators. Well, I played around with indicators and did a lot of dumb stuff before learning about price action. But once I learned about price action, I dedicated myself as a price action trader. And then the funny thing is after that is, after I became comfortable and successful trading price action, learning price action, and this is going to seem stupid in hindsight, but learning price action made me understand indicators better, right? And it seems stupid because, like, if you think about it, right, indicators are based off of price action. So it should come as no surprise that if you can understand price, the thing that causes indicators to do what they do, you'd understand indicators more. But we all go through that period where, we think indicators are the signal or whatnot. So after I understood that, it gave me a lot of knowledge about what to look for in indicators as far as different alternative ways to using them, which is helpful, but also different ways to customizing them. So, let's take an example. Let's say you're a trader, and let's say you use the RSI as an exit indicator, right? Let's say you're a trader and you're entering right here. And you're using the RSI as an exit indicator, meaning that instead of using it as like when the RSI goes over sold or overbought, you buy or sell, you do the opposite. It's your signal to get out of a trade. you would look at a move like this, and you would do this across hundreds and thousands of moves. You would look at a move like this, right? And the problem is if you're entering a trade up here and your exit indicator is the RSI going overbought or oversold in this case, excuse me, would you ever exit the trade? Did we ever go oversold? No, right? So you're leaving a massive amount of money on the table because clearly the swing came all the way down here. Let me get the right kind of drawing tool going on if I can find it. Clearly the swing came all the way down here, which would have maximized your profit. And then we retraced all the way back up. So you would do something where you would take this RSI, and again, you do this not this over this one segment, but you do this over thousands and thousands of massive sample size. And you would kind of see, okay, what is that indicator? Okay, if I do it right here, if I put it at 19 gets me out right here at basically not the full move. We're never going to catch the full move, but 19 gets me out at the majority of the move. That might be a good setting to try out instead of 21. But then you may look at another opportunity where like you got involved from here to here and you're like, 19 doesn't do it for me. Well, let me see something real quick. Let me see 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Okay, well 12 gets me out. Looks like we touched right here. 12 gets me out at, allows me to catch this whole move, right? I'm still catching the bulk of this move. I'm getting out here instead of here. But now I've made sure to catch both of these, right? Does that make sense, guys? Again, if you're using the RSI in the case of an exit indicator, how we make those tweaks. So you just don't pick what the default is. You just don't say, 13, let's stick with 13, 21, right? You want to actually see, you want to optimize it per what you're looking to accomplish. And what you're looking to accomplish is going to change on a trader by trader basis. But it opens up a cool new world, again, once you understand these indicators and once you kind of know, again, it starts off, once you know what you're looking for of price action, now you can learn to customize the indicator. You're not set in stone with what the default setting should be, because here's the thing, the default setting is probably not going to be the best setting for you. I'm just putting it out there. It's probably not, especially if you're in the Forex market versus another market, because remember, the majority of these indicators are built for the stock market, not the Forex market. And they're different markets. So you got to keep that in mind as well, right? A lot of those traditional indicators that you read about in stock books where it's like, use this for that, trash in the Forex market, different markets. But you'll learn exactly what to look for. And then it's just a game of making the tweaks to find out what is the best, balancing that the pros and cons, right? Enough to maximize, but not too much to miss out. Enough to not miss out, but not too much to kind of leave too much on the table. And then that's just tweaking, right? That's the light bulb where you go in, you fix, you test. Nope. You go in, you fix, you test. Nope. You go in, you fix, you test. And one day, it works. And then you're good. And then you probably got to do it for the next pair as well, because every pair is different. But yeah, it opens up a cool new world when you can understand indicators. But it all starts with learning price action first, because understanding that these indicators are going to be based off of price action. With that being said, let me get this back to my normal settings before I save it by accident. That was another trading mistake I made. I was doing a workshop on something, and I changed my settings to give some type of example, and I never changed them back. And I had like a month of like these weird trading signals, and I'm like, why is this not happening? And I'm like, oh crap, Akil.